Ayan, so isang magandang hapon sa ating lahat. Araw na naman ng Biyernes, ibig sabihin magkakasama-sama na naman tayo kasama ng ating mga ABM students na kasalukuyan nagtitake ng Business Mathematics for another episode of Itulay Online Tutorial for Business Mathematics. At tayo ngayon ay nasa quarter to week 4 na. And today is December 10, 2021. At ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong araw ay napakaganda dahil ito ay about sa computation of overtime pay and gross earnings. So yung napag-usapan natin nung nakarang linggo ay tungkol sa pagko-compute ng salary deductions and taxes. Ngayon naman, pag-uusapan natin kung paano nga ba kino-compute yung overtime given ng yung compensation nila kada araw at kung ilang oras sila nag-overtime. Alright? Pero bago tayo mag-proceed, ay dire-diretso na tayo. No? Introduce muna natin ang ating mga objectives for today. At the end of this learning episode, you must be able to do the following. So first of all, identify the variables needed in the computation of overtime pay. So katulad nga nung nasabi ko kanina, meron tayong mga tinitingnan pagdating sa computation, meron tayong chine-check na mga variables pagdating sa pagko-compute ng overtime pay. So mabanggit ko lang, katulad nung nasabi ko kanina ay kasama rito yung kung magkano kinikita kada araw at syempre kung ilang oras ang kanyang in-overtime para sa araw na iyon. At bukod doon, after nating ma-identify mga variables needed in the computation of overtime pay, we're going to compute overtime pay. Pero extend na rin natin ito, no? Bukod sa pagko-compute ng overtime pay, ay ko-compute na rin natin yung tinatawag nating gross earnings o yung kinikita ng isang empleyado for a certain period of time nang walang bawas. Alright, so moving on. Magkaroon muna tayo ng recall. So last time ang pinag-usapan natin ay salary deductions and taxes, and the terms or important terms na binigay or diniscuss natin ay gross earnings, payroll deductions, and net pay. So as we have discussed last time, pag sinabi natin gross earnings, this is the total compensation that an employee receives for his or her service. So nabanggit ko na kanina, pag sinabi natin gross earnings, ito yung kinikita ng empleyado ng walang bawas, wala pang kahit anong bawas. And then we also have payroll deductions. It refers to deductions from gross earnings computed based on an employee's compensation. So ito naman yung binabawas natin mula sa gross earnings at kino-compute natin itong mga payroll deductions na ito based lang din doon sa kung magkano kinikita nila kada buwan. And then lastly, we have the term net pay. Ang net pay naman is it is an employee's gross earnings less payroll deductions. So kapag binawas natin yung payroll deductions mula dun sa gross earnings, makukuha natin yung tinatawag na net pay or also known or more practically known as take-home pay. Dahil ito na yung nauuwi or inuuwi, pwedeng uwi ng isang empleyado. At nabanggit na natin dito yung payroll deductions. Ano nga ba yung payroll deductions na pinag-usapan natin last time? Ito yung mga mandatory payroll deductions. Pag sinabi nating mandatory, merong isang batas na nagpapatupad or nagre-require para ito ay mangyari. So itong mga mandatory payroll deductions in the Philippines, merong mga batas para maipatupad ito para ang mga employer ay ma-require na magbawas mula sa compensation ng kanilang mga empleyado at i-remit ito appropriately. Kapag ito ay hindi nila ni-remit or binawas lang nila, hindi na ni-remit or in the first place, hindi sila nagkaraon. So, ang usapan natin payroll deduction last time, we have health, pag-ibig, and withholding tax. At ano yung mga kailangan nating tandaan pagdating sa pagko-compute ng payroll deductions? We have the following. So first, standard payroll deductions include SSS, GSIS, PhilHealth, pag-ibig, and withholding tax. Ang kaiba, yung SSS at GSIS ay parehas na social insurance, no? Pero ang kaibahan nila is that pag sinabi nating SSS, this is especially for private employees or employees in private companies. Pag sinabi naman nating GSIS, ito naman ay especially for employees in the government. Pag PhilHealth, this is also an insurance for health purposes, for affordable health services. Pag sinabi naman nating pag-ibig or HDMF, ito naman ay for affordable housing loans for Filipino workers, and then withholding tax. Pag sinabi naman nating withholding tax, ito yung of course tax para ma-remit or magkaroon ng remittance mula doon sa sweldo ng mga empleyado regularly. Another thing is government has made mandatory for all businesses to remit these payroll deductions in behalf of their employees. This is why it is called mandatory payroll deductions. We also have SSS as computed based on monthly salary credit reflected in SSS contribution table. we have EE ranges from 135 pesos to 1,125 pesos. Sa pagko-compute ng SSS, ang kailangan lang nating tingnan is yung table na pinakita ko sa inyo last time. So titingnan nyo lang doon sa monthly salary credit kung saang pasok na range yung monthly salary, and then ilolocate nyo doon sa column for table, for total, yung EE, yung term or yung header na EE, and then kung ano man yung tumapat doon mula sa compensation range, yun na yung magiging SSS contribution ng empleyado. And we have minimum, which is 135 pesos, maximum is 1,125 pesos. For PhilHealth naman, sa PhilHealth, I would just multiply the monthly salary pa rin by 3.5% divided by 2. Again, that's 3.5% divided by 2 dahil pinaghahatian niya ng employer sa kanang employee. At meron din tayong maximum and minimum dito. Maximum is 1,225 pesos, minimum is 175 pesos. So kapag bumaba pa yan or tumaas pa doon respectively, ipipeg natin or ififix natin sa 175 pesos and 1,225 pesos. Pag-ibig naman, this is either 1% or 2%, pero kapag ang maximum dito is 100 pesos. That is kapag ang monthly salary is 5,000 pesos pataas. So kapag ang monthly salary ng empleyado is 5,000 pesos and above, hindi na natin kailangan pang mag-compute, hindi na natin kailangan pag-multiply. That is automatically 100 pesos. And then lastly, for GSIS naman, ito ay multiply lang natin by 9% yung monthly salary. Ito yung mga kailangan nating tandaan. Yun ang kailangan nating tandaan for GSIS. And another thing that we need to remember pagdating dito sa mga payroll deductions, this constantly changes every year. Pag sinabi kong constantly changes every year, tumataas ito. So yung SSS, tumataas yan. Yung membership para sa PhilHealth, sa GSIS, sa Pag-ibig, it may change from year to year. Pero yung SSS saka yung PhilHealth for this year ay suspended muna because of the national crisis that we are experiencing because of the pandemic. Alright, so yun kailangan nating tandaan pagdating sa pagko-compute ng salary deductions or payroll deductions. Next, so ito yung binigay ko na practice sa inyo last time. So essentially, ang sinasabi dito si Vicky ay merong dalawang options pagdating sa kanyang pag-a-applyan. So yung first option niya na pwedeng applyan is a private company, no? Yung pwedeng applyan na una is private company na ang monthly salary is 37,000 pesos. So kapag doon siya pumasok, ang kikitain niya monthly gross earnings is 37,000 pesos. Another option is a NEDA, which is a government institution. Ang kikitain niya kada buwan is 35,016 pesos. Pero bukod pa doon, meron siyang tinatawag na allowance, extra allowance, which is PERA, Personal Economic Relief of 2,000 pesos. Ngayon, ang kailangan nating gawin is tulungan siyang mag-decide whether to choose private company or NEDA. Okay? We can also provide practical advice para siya ay makapag-decide ng mas mabuti. So of course, based sa ating discussion last time, we're going to compute yung kanyang net pay. So pag nag-compute tayo ng net pay, pagdadaan na natin yung mga steps simula sa pagko-compute ng mga deductions, sa pagkuha ng total contributions, and then pagkuha ng taxable income. After ng taxable income, pupunta doon sa tax table. After ng tax table, makukuha natin yung pre-tax tsaka yung tax on the excess, compute the withholding tax, and then from there, we can compute the net pay. So that's what we're going to do here. So for her first option, which is a private company, so ito yung first option ni Vicky, private company, wherein kikita siya ng 37,000 pesos. So katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, magko-compute muna tayo ng mga salary or mga payroll deductions niya starting with SSS of GSIS. This is SSS dahil private company. So we have SSS. This is simply by looking at the table. So pagka nilocate natin sa table yung 37,000 pesos, ang katumbas niya is 1,125 pesos. For PhilHealth naman, that is 647.50 because pag minultiply natin itong 37K by 3.5% and then divided by 2, that would be this amount. Pag-ibig naman, siyempre sinabi ko kanina, kapag yung monthly salary is lumagpas ng 5,000 pesos, automatic that is 100 pesos yung contribution niya. Since obviously 37,000 is above 5,000, ang kanyang pag-ibig contribution will be 100 pesos. And then after that, we compute the total contribution, which is just, we're going to add, no? I-add lang natin itong tatlong ito. And then from there, makukuha natin yung taxable income. So yung taxable income, we're just going to subtract itong amount na ito from 37K, and that is 35,125.5. This is the taxable amount. And then mula dito sa taxable amount, pupunta tayo sa tax table, di ba? Tapos hahanapin natin ito. Kapag ginanap natin ito sa tax table, this is in column 3. Okay? And in column 3, withholding tax is 2,948 pesos 0.63 kasi ang pre-tax is 2,500. Ang tax on the excess will be 448.63 pesos. And then, pag nakuha na natin yung withholding tax, pwede na natin makuha yung total deductions. Yung total deductions ay yung sum lang ng total contribution nitong tatlo tsaka ng withholding tax. We're just going to add these two. And that is 4,821.13 pesos. At ang kanyang net pay will be, sa net pay naman, we're just going to subtract itong total deduction from the monthly salary. Ito yon, and that is 32,178.87 pesos. So kapag grinab niya yung opportunity sa private company, Vicky will earn 32,178.87 pesos. So that is her first option. Second option naman is in NEDA. Kapag sa NEDA siya, ang monthly niyang kikitain is 35,000 pesos, 35,016 pesos plus pera, personal economic relief allowance of 2,000 pesos. So ganun pa rin, no? Let's start tayo sa kanyang GSIS because NEDA is a government institution. So GSIS niya is 3151.44. Minultiply lang natin itong 35,016 sa 9%. Sir, anong ginawa dito sa 2K? Hindi natin i-add yan dito. I-add natin siya later on. Okay, so ito lang yung magiging basis natin. So ganun pag nagko-compute ng salary deductions, ng payroll deductions, doon lang tayo magbe-base sa gross earnings, hindi kasama yung mga allowances niya. So that's GSIS. PhilHealth is this times 3.5% divided by 2, that's 612.78 pesos. And then pag-ibig is kapag above 5,000 pesos, which is obviously is, that's automatically 100 pesos. Get the total contribution, that is 3,864.22. I-minus ito mula doon sa monthly salary, makukuha natin yung taxable amount which is 31,151.78. And then ilolocate natin ito sa tax table to identify the pre-tax which is 0 and the tax on the excess which is 2,063.76 pesos. Pag inad natin yan, withholding tax will be 2,063.76 pesos. And then we're just going to add that para makuha natin yung total deduction, itong total contribution plus withholding tax, that's 5,927.98 pesos. At para naman sa kanyang net pay, that is yung monthly salary minus total deduction plus yung allowance, and that is 31,088.02. So all we have to do right now is since nakuha na natin yung gross earning, yung net pay niya from first option and second option, we just have to compare. And that is for her first option, ang magiging net pay ni Vicky will be 32,178.87 pesos. Kapag sa private, kapag sa NEDA naman, that will be 31,088.02 pesos. Obviously, mas malaki yung dito sa private company. So kapag for practical purposes, pwede nating sabihin na Vicky should choose the private company because it has higher net pay. Pero meron pa tayong iba't ibang factors na pwedeng i-consider para mag-decide siya na piliin itong NEDA, just like mas stable ang employment kapag nasa government institution. So yun. Alright? So that's it for our recall. Now let us proceed sa ating mga outstanding duty for week 3. Okay, award natin for this week, week 4. And we have Math Galing duties. Ayan, so we have Fevy Ramos, Kenneth Go, Princess Bacod, Kent Berte, and Jewel Conde. Of course, merong mga nabawas dito no, dahil umabsent sila ng isang beses. Pero kapag bumalik naman sila right now, ay pwede natin silang ibalik for next week's awarding. We have for Math Husay, we have Mira, Francesca De La Rosa, Christian Humawan, Samuel Glico, Neil Pilar, Michelle Cruz, Princess Abangan, Moraya Arenas, John Philip Chin, Cyril Vallador, Angela Canono, Micaela Labay, and Jomar Tagle. Alright, and then lastly, of course, we have Math Lupet. We have Angela Canyon, Jessica Arizapa, Maritone S. De Padua, Mariel, Harvey, Leslie, Gail, Renz, and Marian. So congratulations sa inyong lahat mula sa ating Math Galing hanggang sa ating Math Lupet. Continuously participate in our Itulay sessions para magkaroon kayo din ng Itulay badges. Alright, now let's proceed to our lesson proper. So again, ang pag-uusapan natin ngayong session is computation of overtime pay and gross earnings. Okay, so overtime pay and gross earnings. Of course, kapag narinig natin yung term na overtime pay sa ating mga magulang, alam natin na ito ay compensation based doon sa kanilang extra work na ginawa. No? Kapag sila ay nag-extend sa kanilang trabaho. Let's say, for example, ang office hours is from 8 a.m. to 5 p.m. If they work beyond 5 p.m., kung ilan man yung oras na tinanabaho nila beyond 5 p.m., tapos kung yun ay compensated ng employer, meron silang matatanggap na overtime pay. Okay? And then gross earnings naman, ito yung kikitain nila for that day or for a week or for a month. Depende sa compensation term ng isang kumpanya. Pero basically, pag sinabi nating overtime pay, ito yung dagdag doon sa sweldo ng mga empleyado. Ngayon, sa pagko-compute ng overtime pay, we have different variables to consider. So, hindi lang ito basta-basta pagko-compute ng overtime pay na, sige, 3 hours ka nag-overtime. Sige, meron kang 50 pesos for each hour. So, meron kang 150 pesos. Hindi ganun ang pagko-compute ng overtime pay. Meron tayong sinusunod na rules. So, let's start with the variables. Ano yung mga kailangan nating tandaan is the computation of overtime pay. So, we have the following. We have daily rate, regular hourly rate, overtime premium, overtime rate, overtime pay, regular pay, and gross earnings. Sir, bakit parang pare-pares lang naman sila? Merong regular hourly rate, tapos merong hourly rate, merong overtime rate, merong overtime pay. Didiscuss natin yan isa-isa para hindi tayo malito. So first, we have the term daily rate. Okay? Pag sinabi nating daily rate, this is the daily compensation an employee receives for 8 hours of work. Okay? So from the term itself, ito yung kikitain ng isang empleyado kada araw within the regular 8 hours of work. Di ba kasi sa Pilipinas, merong batas sa employment na ang regular number of hours of work is 8 hours only. Hindi ka pwedeng i-require na mag-require na mag-extend ng 8 hours or mag-extend from 8 hours unless ito ay mahalagang-mahalaga. No, kapag ka merong magiging negative impact kapag hindi nagawa yung trabaho, that's the only time that it can be the employer can request the employer to extend beyond 8 hours. Just like what we're experiencing right now. Yung mga nurses, they are not required to extend. Pero because of the pandemic, they can be required by the government to extend more than the regular hours of work that they have. Okay? Pero basically, pag sinabi natin daily rate, ito yung kinikita ng empleyado kada regular na 8 hours of work. Alright? For any type of day. Next, we also have the term regular hourly rate. Pag sinabi naman natin regular hourly rate, this is the hourly compensation of an employee during regular working days. So yung kanina, daily rate yung kinikita kada araw, so for 8 hours, ito naman ay for every hour. So ibig sabihin, let's say for example, kung 800 pesos yung kanyang daily rate, yung regular hourly rate niya would be divided by 8. Yun yung tinatawag nating RHR or regular hourly rate. Okay, yung kada oras. Next, we also have hourly rate. So ito na, no? Kanina regular hourly rate, ito hourly rate. Balikan natin to. Itong kasing regular hourly rate during regular working days. So nothing special. So hindi siya holiday, hindi mo siya rest day, no? It could be your birthday, but it doesn't mean na it's a special day. It's not a special holiday. Di ba? Kapag birthday naman ng mama nyo or tatay nyo sa trabaho, hindi naman pwede magpa-special holiday. That's not part of the categorization kung yun ay regular day. No? Pag sinabi nating RHR, kada oras ito during regular working days. Okay? Ito kasing hourly rate, okay? This is the hourly compensation of an employee during any working day. Kasi class, yung hourly rate, yung regular hourly rate, nagbabago-bago yun depende sa klase ng araw na ipinasok ng isang empleyado. Kung ang empleyado ay pumasok ng regular day, ng regular holiday, di ba meron tayong tinatawag na double pay, mag-a-apply yun doon. Kapag pumasok yung empleyado during his or her rest day, merong additional compensation din doon, which is mas mataas kesa dito sa RHR. Okay, that's the difference between hourly rate and regular hourly rate. Pag sinabi nating regular hourly rate, any type of working day. Pag sinabi naman nating hourly rate, for a specific or certain type of working day. It could be regular holiday, special non-working holiday, or rest day, or combination of any of them. Okay? Premium. Pag sinabi naman na overtime premium, this is the amount paid to overtime rate. Okay? Kasi meron tayong 25% na tinatawag na overtime premium rate. So, dinadagdag natin itong overtime premium doon sa regular hourly rate. Okay? Next, we have the term overtime rate. Kanina, diba, na-encounter natin yung term na daily rate. Pag sinabi naman natin overtime rate, ito yung bayad sa kada oras. Okay? Meron tayong hourly rate kanina, di ba? Yun yung bayad kada oras ng regular. Pag overtime rate naman, bayad sa every hour na mag-e-extend sa trabaho ang isang empleyado. Let's say, for example, na-compute natin that overtime rate is 50 pesos. So kapag ka nag-extend siya ng 2 hours, that would be 50 pesos plus 50 pesos, 100 pesos. Okay? Yun yung tinatawag na overtime rate. Yung magiging bayad sa isang empleyado every hour na siya ay mag-e-extend. And then we also have the term overtime pay. Yung overtime rate kada oras, itong overtime pay naman yung total. So kung nag-extend siya ng 2 hours, yung overtime pay is yung para sa 2 hours. Alright? And then regular pay. Regular pay naman yung bayad doon sa normal 8 hours of work. Okay? Kasi yan ay ina-add natin to get the gross earnings. So itong gross earnings naman is total ng regular pay plus yung overtime pay. Regular pay kung magkano yung katumbas ng trinabaho niya for the first 8 hours, okay? And then plus kung magkano yung trinabaho niya or magkano yung katumbas ng trinabaho niya bukod or extended mula doon sa 8 hours. Yun yung tinatawag nating gross earnings pag pinag-total yan. Alright? So medyo maraming term, no? I-apply natin siya para mas maintindihan natin. By the way, meron tayong regular and special holidays, no? Pagka regular holidays, usually, ito ay fixed yung date. Okay? Fixed yung date pag sinabi nating regular holiday. At ito ay national, no? So we have yung January 1, alam na natin yan, of course. April 9, May 1, Labor Day. June 12, Independence Day. November 30, Heroes Day, di ba? December 25, Idil Fitr, Idil Adha, and last Monday of August, no? Yan yung mga regular holiday. Pag special holiday naman, special non-working holiday in the Philippines are usually hindi ito fixed at hindi siya consistent na every year. No, may mga times na dependent ang special holiday sa declaration from the President. Di ba nga may times na naghihintay pa tayo kung siya ba yun, kung yun ay magiging holiday. Kapag kailangan pa natin maghintay ng announcement, yun ay tinatawag nating special holiday. So, ang pinaka-recent dyan is nung December 8, yung Immaculate Conception Day, that is a special holiday. And when it comes to computation of overtime pay at compensation, magkaiba. Okay? Magkaiba ang rata or rate ng regular sa special. Magkaiba yon. Alright. So now let's proceed to the formulas na gagamitin natin sa pag-compute ng overtime. We have the following formulas for sets. So first is regular hourly rate. Yung regular hourly rate, katulad ng sinabi ko kanina, is just the daily rate divided by 8. Yun yung kada oras na bayad. After natin makuha yung regular hourly rate, we're going to proceed with the computation of hourly rate. Pag sinabi nating hourly rate, yung kada oras for that specific type of working day. And then we also compute the overtime rate. And the formula is, whatever the RHR is, parehas natin gagamitin yun for HR and OR, we just multiply that by the respective HR percent for HR and the respective OR percent for OR. Sir, saan manggagaling yung HR percent saka OR percent? Dito sa table na ito. Paki-screenshot para matandaan nyo mamaya sa pagko-compute natin ng mga examples. So, ito yung type of working day na sinasabi ko. And then we have columns for HR percent and OR percent. Regular day meaning nothing special. Kahit birthday mo pa yan, it's special for you but not for everyone. Okay, so that's regular day. We also have special holiday. We also have rest day on a special holiday, regular holiday, and rest day on a regular holiday. So ano big sabihin yan, sir? Kapag ang empleyado ay pumasok ng regular day, nothing special, yung hourly niya is times 100%, yung overtime niya is times 125%. Pag pumasok ang empleyado ng special holiday, for example, pumasok siya ng December 8. Okay, December 8. Meron siyang, yung hourly rate niya is magiging times 1.3. Yung overtime naman niya is times 1.69 or times 169%. Kapag nagkataon na yung isang empleyado ay pumasok sa special holiday, nagkataon rest day niya rin yun, pahinga niya rin yun, pero pinapasok siya ng employer niya dahil mahalaga. Yung hourly niya, times natin by 150%, yung overtime niya times 195%. Okay? Pag regular holiday naman, for example, pumasok ng December 25, Paskong Pasko, yung kada oras niya, babayaran niyo ng 200%, yung overtime niya times 260%. At ito yung pinakamataas sa lahat. Kapag pumasok ang empleyado sa regular holiday na nagkataon na rest day niya rin, that's 260% and 338%. So yun ang gagamitin natin dito. So paano natin magagamit itong table muna? Paano natin magagamit itong table? So first thing we do para magamit natin ito is identify what kind of work day yung empleyado ay pumasok. So pag sinabi, for example, December 8, December 8, that's a special not working holiday. So titingnan natin na ito yung gagamitin natin, yung special holiday. Pag sinabi sa problem na si empleyado ay pumasok ng linggo, rest day niya, tapos December 25, regular holiday on a rest day, so that's 260% and 338%. Ipa-plug in natin yan dito later on, dito para multiply natin sa RHR. Okay? Pag nakuha na natin yung HR at OR, we proceed with the computation of overtime pay. Yung total na babayaran o ibabayad sa empleyado para doon sa kanyang overtime. Tapos yung kanyang regular pay, doon naman sa 8 hours, within 8 hours na kanyang, first 8 hours na kanyang trinabaho. Alright? And then after that, finally, we just add OP and RP to get the gross earnings kung magkano yung bayad niya for that day. Okay? Now, let us have an example. Para mas maintindihan natin. So, example, Sheila works at an accounting firm earning a minimum wage of 537 pesos daily. Ito yung minimum wage sa Metro Manila. Okay? So, ito yung kinikita niya kada araw for 8 hours. For regular 8 hours. Ngayon, ang sabi, determine her regular hourly rate and overtime rate if she report to work on a regular day, a special holiday, during her rest day pala, special holiday during her rest day, regular holiday during her rest day. So basically, yung 5. Ito. Yung 5 ito. So itetest natin itong 5 ito. So ang pinapakuha sa atin is, magkano yung kanyang overtime rate saka yung hourly rate given na yung kanyang kada araw is 537 pesos. Alright? So the first step, okay? The first step is what? Di ba kunin si RHR? That is DR divided by 8 and then follow na itong HR tsaka OR. Okay? So yun ang gagawin natin. So sabi, 537 daw yung kada araw niya. So magkano yung regular hourly rate niya? Magkano yung bayad sa kanya kada oras? That would be how much? That is regular hourly rate is DR divided by 8. DR or daily rate is 537. That is correct. 67.13 pesos. Ito yung kada oras ni Sheila. So, regular hourly rate is 67.30 pesos. Yung kada oras ni Sheila for any regular day, for any working day, is 67.13. Magbabago, okay? So ito yung tandaan natin. After ng regular hourly rate, magbabago ito depende sa klase ng workday na pumasok yung isang empleyado. In this case, si Sheila. So, testing natin. We start with regular day. Ilang percent ang sa regular day? Yung HR percent sa OR percent. Anong HR percent sa OR percent kapag ka regular day? That is 100% and 125%. Yun ang sunod, di ba? Kukunin mula dun sa table kung anong klase ng, kung anong percent for HR sa OR percent. Regular day is 100% for HR, 125% for OR. And then we plug in dito. Okay? Ipapasok natin yan dito. So, for hourly rate, that's 67.13 times 100%. That is 67.13 pesos. For hourly rate naman, for overtime rate naman, that is 83.91 pesos. Therefore, for regular day, hourly rate is 67.13 and overtime rate is 83.91 pesos. Ibig sabihin, yung kada oras ni Sheila is 67.13, tapos yung overtime, pag mag-overtime sa kada oras, that's 83.91 pesos. So para sa itong kada oras. Ang kaiba lang nila, itong hourly rate is for the first 8 hours, itong overtime rate is for the overtime beyond 8 hours. Now question, sir, bakit kailangan nating i-compute yung hourly rate? Pwede namang hindi na natin yun i-divide by 8. No. Kailangan nating i-divide by 8 kasi may mga cases na ang empleyado ay hindi nakakabuo ng first 8 hours. May mga nalilate, hindi ba? So, hindi siya buong 8 hours. Kukunin lang natin yung part nun. Meron ding case na nag-undertime. Hanggang 5 p.m. sila, pero by 4, nag-log out na. So, hindi pa rin yun buong 8 hours. O kaya naman, nag-lunch break, tapos na late ng pagbalik. So, hindi pa rin yun buong 8 hours. That is the reason why we still get the hourly rate. Okay? Hindi natin siya iiwan as daily rate. Iko-compute natin siya as hourly rate. Nuggets? Pag naintindihan, please pakipuso nitong live natin. Alright? Next, after ng regular day, we get the special holiday. Regular hourly rate natin is 67.13 pa rin kasi any type of work day. Okay, any type of work day is RHR. Pero for special holiday, kunin natin si HR tsaka si OR. Pag HR tsaka si OR. Pag special holiday. Pag special holiday, that is 100. What? That is 130% and 169%. So kailangan nyo talaga sana nakuha nyo ng screenshot yung nasa slide kanina. Balikan natin for those hindi nakapag screenshot. Ayan. Screenshot nito, 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Alright, itong table na ito. Now, balik tayo doon sa special holiday. Special holiday, that's 130 and 169. Okay? So, itong RHR, para makuha natin yung hourly rate, multiply lang natin yan by 130%. That's 87.27. Kada oras ito kapag special holiday. Pag pumasok ng special holiday. How about overtime rate? Magkano? We're just going to multiply 67.13 by 169%. That's how much? Okay, that is correct. That's gonna be 113.45 pesos. Okay, tama si Renz. Tama si Renz for HR. And then, yun na yun. For special holiday, hourly rate is 87.27, overtime rate is 113.45 pesos kapag pumasok ng special holiday. Or kapag ka rest day, parehas lang pala yun. Rest day or special holiday, that will be the same, 130 and 169%. Okay, so tama. Marami nakakuha ng tama sagot for HR and OR. Sa next time na magko-comment kayo, i-comment nyo na both HR and OR. Alright? Next. How about rest day on a special holiday? Our HR natin is 67.13 pa rin. Rest day on a special holiday. Pumasok si empleyado, for example, ng linggo, tas nagkataon December 8. December 8 is a special holiday, tas rest day pumasok siya. So, ilang percent yon? Ilang percent ang HR tsaka OR? Okay, HR percent and OR percent during rest day on a special holiday is, that is correct, 150% and 195%. So nakuha na natin yung HR percent at OR percent. What we need to do now is to multiply each of them to 67.13% to get HR and OR respectively. Alright. So, sige nga. Magkano yung HR at OR niya? Magkano hourly rate niya at overtime rate? Dalawa Magkano? Hourly rate at overtime rate. Multiply lang natin itong 67.13 by 150 and 195. That is, okay, that is correct. That is 100.70 para sa hourly rate kada oras. And that's 130.90 para naman sa overtime rate. That is correct. And therefore, for rest day on a special holiday, hourly rate is 100.70 and overtime rate is 130.90. So tama si Francesca. Tama rin si Renz. Ayan, very good class. Okay? How about regular holiday? Ito alam natin, double pay. Sige nga, ilang percent HR sa OR kapag ka pinapasok sa empleyado ng, for example, December 25, Paskong Pasko, ilang percent? That is, okay, that is 200% for HR and 260% for OR. And what's the next step? We just have to multiply both HR and OR to 67.13% to get HR and OR. Sige, magkano? Magkano kada oras niya? Pag pumasok siya ng Okay, that is correct. Very good. That is 4.26 pesos. And for OR, that is 174.54 pesos. That is correct. And therefore, hourly rate is 134.26, overtime rate is 174.54. Ayan. So tama si Francesca ulit. Ayan, I think marami pang susunod dyan na makakuha ng tamang sagot. Ayan, tama rin si Reds. Ayan, very good, very good, very good. And last, for rest day on a regular holiday, nagkataon na pinapasok siya ng December 25 na rest day niya. O, unang identify natin, ilang percent si HR tsaka si OR during rest day on a regular holiday? Ilang percent? Ilang percent? Pag rest day on a regular holiday, that is correct. That is 260% for HR and 338% for OR. Okay? What's the next step? Tama si Shamel. That's correct. That's correct. What's the next step? We get the HR and OR by multiplying both HR percent and OR percent to 67.13 pesos. And that is how much? Magkano? Pag minultiply natin itong 260 at 338 kay 67.13, that is how much? Okay, that is correct also. So HR 174.54 pesos. OR is 226.90 pesos. Therefore, for a rest day on a regular holiday, hourly rate is 174.54 and overtime rate is 226.90 pesos. Okay? Ito wala pa itong gross earnings class, no? Ang kino-compute lang natin dito is hourly rate saka overtime rate. Now, paano naman kapag given na yung ilang oras siya nag-extend? For example, sinabi na 2 hours siya nag-extend. Tapos 7 hours lang yung regular niya. Anong gagawin naman natin doon? Ang kailangan muna nating tandaan dito is pag nagko-compute tayo ng overtime rate saka ng hourly rate, the first thing that we need to do is to get the regular hourly rate. And then after that, identify what kind of workday that is para makuha natin yung respective HR percent and OR percent. And then pag na-identify na natin yung respective HR and OR percent, that's the time that we can multiply those percents or those rates doon sa HR natin para makuha si HR tsaka si OR. Okay, extend natin to, no? Extend natin doon sa makukuha natin talaga yung gross earnings. Okay? Please pakipusuan muna, no? Mag-comment, hindi mag-react. Mag-comment ng heart sa ating chat box at sa ating comment box to let me know kung na-gets nyo itong first part ng ating examples. First set nating examples. Sige? Please, pakipusuan, mag-comment ng heart. Thank you very much. Okay, ayan. So maraming salamat sa nag-comment ng heart. Now, let's proceed to another example. So, Mr. Wyatt earns 1,750 pesos as a marketing research analyst at a food manufacturing company. He went to work on Ninoy Aquino Day. He was not late, and he logged out from work 2 hours later. Compute his overtime pay and gross earnings for that day. So, ang sabi dito, si Mr. Wyatt daw ay kumikita ng 1,750 kada araw. Laki, ano? Kada araw niya lang yan for regular 8 hours. Okay? For regular 8 hours. Ngayon, etong si Mr. Wyatt daw pumasok ng Ninoy Aquino Day. So ngayon isipin nyo, ano yung Ninoy Aquino Day? Is it a special working holiday or a regular holiday? Okay? Para ma-identify nyo na mamaya-maya kung anong percent, anong HR or percent ang gagamitin natin. Ang tanong, magkano yung overtime pay? Hindi overtime rate, ha? Magkano yung overtime pay? Meaning, magkano yung total na ibabayad sa kanya for the overtime? At magkano yung gross earnings? Magkano yung kinita niya for that day? Ngayon, ang sabi, he was not late. Ibig sabihin, nabuo niya yung 8 hours. Hindi ba? Hindi siya late eh. Hindi naman sinabi nag-undertime siya. We cannot assume that. So sabi dito, hindi siya na late. So ibig sabihin na kumpleto niya yung 8 hours. Tapos nag-extend daw siya ng 2 hours, ibig sabihin ang overtime niya is 2 oras. Okay? O sige, compute natin yung overtime pay niya at saka gross earnings. Pero what's the first step? The first step is what? So pagko-compute ng overtime pay, whatever that is, the first step is, okay, get the regular hourly rate, which is RHR is equal to DR divided by 8. Our DR is 1,750. So we just have to divide it by 8. So magkano yon? Magkano kada oras ni Mr. Wyatt? Alright, that is correct. Kada oras ni Mr. Wyatt is 218.75 pesos. Kada oras niyan for any type of work day. So, regular hourly rate is 218.75 pesos. Okay, tama si Cyril. Thank you, Cyril. That's correct. Tama rin si Francesca. Thank you. Very good. Samel, tama rin. Maritoni, tama rin. After natin makuha si regular hourly rate, what's the next step? We go to the table, okay? Pag nakuha na natin yung RHR, we go to the table and identify the HR and OR that we're going to use. Ninoy Aquino Day. Ano ang Ninoy Aquino Day? Sige nga, ano ang Ninoy Aquino Day? Ninoy Aquino Day is a what? What type of holiday that is? Is that? Kabang ko dito sa comment section. Okay. Ninoy Aquino Day is a special holiday. Special holiday yan. August 21. Okay? So, ang gagamitin nating, is it regular holiday? Paki-verify nga. I think this is a special holiday. Okay? So, if that's a special holiday, ang gagamitin nating HR is 130 and 169%. Okay? So, pasok natin dito. Ito yung pre-practice natin kanina sa first set of examples. So, ang gagamitin nating HR percent is 130, OR percent is 169. So, pasok lang natin dito. Ayan. Ito yung HR OR percent. So, kada oras, 284.38. Kada oras na overtime, that's 369.69 pesos. So, hourly rate is 284.38. Overtime rate is 369.69. So, nakuha na natin yan. Ngayon, pag nakuha na natin itong hourly rate, ang sabi, di ba, wala raw late, tapos 2 hours daw yung overtime ni Mr. Wyatt. So, ang sunod natin gagawin, compute si overtime pay and regular pay. Paano kino-compute si overtime pay? Sa pagko-compute ng overtime pay, ganito ang gagawin. Kung magkano man, kay regular pay muna tayo. Sa pagko-compute ng regular pay, kung magkano man yung hourly rate niya, mumultiply natin yun sa kung ilan yung oras na trinabaho niya within 8 hours. So, ang maximum dito is 8 hours. It can go down or it can go lower than 8 hours kapag na-late or nag-overtime. Pero pag walang late, walang undertime, that's 8 hours. That's for regular pay. So in this case, that is hourly rate, 284.38 times 8. Pag overtime pay naman, ang gagamitin natin dito is si overtime rate. Overtime pay overtime rate. Mumultiply natin si overtime rate kung ilang oras nag-overtime yung empleyado. In this case, this is 369.69 times 2 hours. So that is how much? Magkano ang OP? Magkano ang RP? Sige nga, magkano ang regular pay saka overtime pay ni Mr. Wyatt? Regular pay muna. Regular pay is hourly rate times number of hours within 8 hours. Okay, that is for RP regular pay, that's 284.38 times 8, 2,275.04 for regular pay. For overtime pay, that is kung magkano yung overtime rate niya times kung ilang oras siya nag-overtime, that's 2 hours. That is, okay, 739.38 pesos. So tama si Francesca. Hindi ko na-show dito. Pero tama si Francesca. Tama rin si Renz. Tama rin pala si Cyril. Ayan. Okay. Ayan. So ito yung bayad sa first 8 hours ni Mr. Wyatt. Ito naman yung bayad para dun sa overtime niya. So para sa gross earnings, we just have to add the two. We get RP plus OP. That is how much? Magkano gross earnings? Magkano GE? For GE, that is, okay, that is correct. For gross earnings, that is 3,014.42 pesos. Ang lakas, di ba? Isang araw lang yan ni Mr. Wyatt, 3K. But of course, babawasan pa yun ng mga payroll deductions. Pero imagine, 3K siya dun sa araw na pumasok siya nung Ninoy Aquino Day. Okay. Sige, pakitake ng screenshot. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Ayan, so tama si, wait lang. Ayan, ang dami nakakatama ng sagot. Si Maritoni, si Philip, si Shamel, tapos si Louie. Ayan. Ang dami-dami nakakuha ng tamang sagot. That is correct. So, ganun ang gagawin ha. Pag nakuha si HR tsaka si OR, si HR, imumultiply natin yung doon sa 8 hours na nakuha niya, bukod na lang pag nag-undertime of overtime. For OP naman ng overtime pay, kukunin natin si overtime rate, kung multiply natin yun sa kung ilang oras siya nag-overtime. Alright? So, let's have another example. Si Crescents naman. For si Crescents, kumikita siya ng 850 pesos a day. Tapos pumasok siya nung last Monday of August. With no late, he worked extra 1.5 hours, compute his gross earnings. So sabi dito, si Clarence daw kumikita ng 850 pesos kada araw, pumasok daw siya nung last Monday of August. Ano bang meron ng last Monday of August? Nakalimutan ko na. Ano bang meron ng last Monday ng August? This is a regular holiday This is a regular holiday. Okay? Pero with no late daw, tapos nag-overtime siya ng 1.5. Pinapakompute sa atin yung gross earnings niya. Okay. So let's start with what? Alright, so we always start with getting the regular hourly rate. Regular hourly rate is how much? Regular hourly rate, that is correct. 106.25. 850 divided by 8. Okay? After getting the regular hourly rate, we go to the table, we identify what HR percent or percent are we going to use. Ayun. So last Monday of August is Heroes Day. Ayun. So thank you, Angela. Ayan, nagpaalala sa akin. Thank you, Angela. So last Monday of August is National Heroes Day. So that is a regular holiday. So regular holiday siya, anong percent ang gagamitin natin? Pag National Heroes Day, pag regular holiday, gagamitin natin is, okay, pag regular holiday, gagamitin natin ay 200% and 260%. So our HR is 212.50. Our OR is 276.25. Yan. Thank you, Cyril. Cyril. Okay, so nakuha na natin si HR at si OR. Ang kada oras, 212.50. Ang kada overtime niya, kada oras na mag-overtime siya, that's 276.25 pesos. Ngayon, kukompute natin si RP tsaka OP. RP tsaka OP. For RP, ayan na, solve the regular pay. Saan natin i-multiply si 212.50? For regular pay, for RP. Si 212.50 mo-multiply natin by 8 kasi wala naman siyang late. So magkano yon? 212.5 times 8 is how much? Okay, that is 1,700. Ito yung sa RP niya. Regular pay. How about overtime pay? Magkano yung total niyang overtime? Nag-overtime siya ng 1.5 hours, isa't kalahating oras. Tapos kada oras is 276.25. So magkano yon? Magkano overtime niya? Okay, so ang overtime niya is 414.38 pesos. Ito yung total niya ng overtime. I know, times 1.5 pesos. Times 1.5. O, di magkano gross earnings niya? Gross earnings niya, add lang naman natin tong RP at OP. That is, alright, that is true. That is correct. Very good. That is 2,114.38 pesos. Ganun lang siya. Okay, take a screenshot. 3 seconds. 1, 2, 3. Alright, last example. Ayan, so Sophia earns 920 pesos a day. And she went to work on a special holiday, which is also her rest day. She was 30 minutes late and worked 30 minutes overtime. Ayan, be careful with the details ha. Kailangan nyo malaman na late siya ng 30 minutes, nag-overtime siya ng 30 minutes. Ma-offset ba yon? The answer is no. Okay? Sir, ulitin nyo nga. Ganto, kapag ka na-late siya, for example, na-late ng 30 minutes, hindi babalik sa normal na hours yung trabaho niya kahit mag-overtime siya ng 30 minutes. Kasi magkaiba ang rata para doon sa first 8 hours, magkaiba yung rate para doon sa first 8 hours, iba yung rate din para doon sa overtime. So kahit na ma-late siya ng 30 minutes at nag-overtime siya ng 30 minutes, doesn't mean na magiging regular 8 hours yon. Okay? Yung tandaan niyo ha, hindi over their time, hindi yun. Alright, so in this case, sige, balikan natin day niya, daw siya ng special holiday na natapat ng rest day din niya. First step natin is RHR. Magkano RHR? Okay, that is 115 pesos. Next, ilang percent ang gagamitin natin pag special holiday on a rest day? Ilang percent? Okay, that is correct. So, multiply natin diretso, 150 and 195. Ano, 150 and 95. Pag binultiply natin si 115 by 150 tsaka 195, HR and OR is 172.50 and 224.25 respectively. Pagkatapos niyan, pwede natin makuha si RP tsaka OP. Si RP tsaka OP is RP. Sige, regular pay. Itong HR, di ba? 150 tsaka 175.50. Saan na natin imumultiply si 172.50? Mumultiply natin siya supposedly sa regular 8 hours niya. Pero nabuo niya ba yung 8 hours? Nabuo niya ba yung 8 hours? Hindi. Kasi na-late siya ng 30 minutes. So, mumultiply ba natin to ng 8 hours, itong HR niya? Mumultiply ba natin to by 8? Yes or no? That is no. Hindi natin i-multiply by 8 kasi na-late siya ng 30 minutes. So instead of 8, that is 7.5%. So the answer to that is 1,293.75. Taray, tama si Francesca. Very good. That's correct. 1,293.75. Hindi times 8 dahil na-late siya by 30 minutes. Be careful with the details of logging out and logging in of work. Okay, that is correct, 7.5%. How about overtime rate? Saan natin multiply si 224.25? Mumultiply natin yan by 30 minutes lang overtime niya by 0.5. And that is 112.13 pesos. Okay? This is yung overtime pay. O magkano gross earnings niya? For that day, magkano kikitain niya? Magkano? Okay. For that day, ang kikitain niya is 1,405.88 pesos. That is correct. That is correct. Ayan, so tama si Francesca. Okay. Ayan, so ang dami nakakuha ng tamang sagot. Thank you. Very good. All right. So last examples, just take a screenshot of this, no? So 1,120 a day, tapos Labor Day. Ayan o, Labor Day, tas 11.5 hours yung kanyang trabaho, tas hindi raw sa late. So ito yung daily rate niya, no? Daily rate niya yan. Labor Day, May 1 is a regular holiday. So, alam na kagad natin, gagamitin natin percent dito is 200% and 260%. Tapos, 11.5 hours, walang late. Ibig sabihin, nabuo niya yung first 8 hours, di ba? First 8 hours. Tapos, ilan yung overtime niya? Kung 11.5 lahat yon, edi 3.5 hours yung kanyang in-extend. Grabe. Lagaring-lagari, 3.5%, 3.5 hours na overtime. Okay, so for that, the answer is, gross earnings is 3,514 pesos. Please take a screenshot of this slide. I'll give you 5 seconds. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Alright. So remarks tayo. Ano man kailangan tandaan? Of course, tandaan lang yung mga steps sa pagko-compute. So get the regular hourly rate. Do not forget that. So the first step is get the regular hourly rate. After nyan is identify kung anong klase ng workday, either para sa HR percent and OR percent. And then compute si HR and OR. Kada oras ito kada oras ng regular, kada oras ng overtime. And then after that, solve the regular pay and overtime pay using the formulas. So RP is magbe-base tayo sa HR, OP magbe-base tayo kay OR. Pag nakuha natin si RP tsaka OP, pwede natin kunin si gross earnings which is RP plus OP. Okay, please pakipusuan naman mag-comment ng heart, mag-comment hindi hindi mag-react. Mag-comment ng heart kung gets na gets at mag-comment naman ng wow kung kailangan pa ng time to process the whole thing. Ayan, so nakikita ko na yung mga comment ninyo. Ayan, so marami nag-heart. Thank you very much. Okay, so for your practice, ayan, so meron dalawang items ako na ibibigay sa inyo for your practice. Please sagutan ito, no? Ayan, so last week na natin, next week, so sana masagutan nyo itong dalawang items na ito. So again, please be careful or pay attention to the details na meron doon sa problem. Alright, that's it for our quarter 2 week 4 session about computation of overtime pay and gross earnings. And if you have questions, you can meet me via my social media accounts, sa aking Gmail or sa aking Facebook Messenger. Naka-show dyan sa screen. And then, ayan, promote na rin natin, no? So, before ng time slot na ito, from 4 to 4:40, we have General Mathematics with Tutor Ryan. We also have Pre-Calculus, kasabay ng time slot natin from 4:40 to 5:20 with Tutor Zara. And then, of course, after this, we have Travel Learn with Tutor Jester and Tutor Avil. That's every Friday from 5:20 p.m. And before we end, I would just like to leave you with this quote. Until we can manage time, we can manage nothing else. That is by Peter Drucker. Ito ang nagpapakita or nag-explain kung gaano kahalaga ang pagkakaroon ng time management if we want to be effective and efficient with whatever we are doing. Alright, so magkita-kita tayo muli sa susunod na Biyernes from 4:40 to 5:20 for our business mathematics. Next week, next Friday ang last session natin for this year. Muli ako si Tutor Eljun at maraming salamat sa inyo at paalam. Bye-bye!